We created a series of short films for MIIR based on the campaign concept, Music for Times Like These. MIIR is groundbreaking audio technology that combines the power of music and neuroscience. Through its innovative algorithm, MIIR identifies the most meaningful moments within any recorded song. We shot 3 short films in one single day. The way we achieved this was finding the right location. We were lucky to find one location and have every set within probably like a block to make these sets on location. Manic Monday bus stop scene, we had to block and find that whole scene out on the streets. And then we had a photo studio that we totally transformed, completely art directed for Perfect Pitch. And then we had to create a home and a party for Second Surprise. Again, we had a great team who worked their magic. And we staggered the production so things could be happening while we were shooting outside. We sort of engineered the shoot so that we could shoot our exteriors while Craig could run ahead and get the talent prepped for the next scene. We also worked closely with the DP Steve Spears to think about different shooting styles for each film.
Manic Monday was about a gal who was late for the bus. She was running late, a little hectic in the morning, and then sort of isolated, alone in the bus stop. The approach was some handheld work, and then we got into some really sort of portrait-y close-ups. Yeah, there was a lot of cuts and a lot of little places that we filmed along the way of her journey to the bus stop in the morning and being late in the morning trying to get out the door and then missing the bus, essentially. Was the other big, sort of moment because we didn't have a bus. We had to time it to the bus schedule.
As a client, MIIR had a really innovative product. We really wanted to create a piece that could showcase how the product could affect people's lives.
Every song is a story, every song has an emotional arc to it, and what MIIR does is find that specific piece in that song that best identifies that emotional moment that you're trying to capture.
The other thing with MIIR that's really unique is it has its own sort of audio journey, which is almost like its own little narrative plot showing you within the music where the peaks and valleys are. When we chose our track and we chose our concept, Music for Times Like These, we were really interested in trying to create an arc that also aligned in the edit and the production with the actual track.
John and I really looked at what could best do that, and we realized the best way is not to take a, say, 60-second, 30-second type commercial approach, but really tell a story that had an arc to it. It basically exposed how this could actually work. The rule of any filmmaker is casting, casting, casting. I think what we really tried to do was to find believable people, not to see people who were basically sort of commercial trying to sell people, but people who really had a natural, realistic feel to them so that they felt like they were in the place that they're supposed to be. The challenge was obviously with the young people in the family scenario for the birthday party. Before we actually shot anything, we actually made them get together. I did a rehearsal with them so that they really were familiar with each other's tempo and temperament.
The second scenario was called The Second Surprise, which was a college gal coming home to see her mom at her birthday time and she didn't know. There was entrances and exits in this scene. As we went through pre-pro, it kind of became clear to me that we needed to have an approach that was a little bit more fluid and brought up Steadicam, and we had Jacob Watson, our Steadicam operator. It turned out to be really the right choice. Perfect Pitch was the third scenario we shot, and that was 2 editors kind of burning the midnight oil, working late. We knew it was going to be sort of a darker, moodier. That was more sliders, just little moves of the camera that were a little bit subtler, but allowed the perspective to still change a little bit. You also heard their conversations as editors trying to create or figure out what the best response was. So you could see the application happening as they were thinking about the project.
We knew we had to basically align things in the visual part with the audio part and then the special effects part, which was really the challenge.
Shep with Spotnik did a fantastic job on these.
We were allowed to sort of let them run at their own tempo and their own feeling and their own pace. The Manic Monday had to have a quicker pace because that was the story dynamic, where the family obviously needed a family gathering, sort of joyous, kind of celebratory feel to it. The specific one about the editing was really about two people that work together, so there's no need to talk. It's really about how can we achieve the goal that we are set out.
And the goal ultimately was to give MIIR sales tools, give them tools that they could show these to people and get people really amped up about this product. We all used our strengths. We had a great production team from Minnesota.
I mean, one of the things about Cinema Mechanics and Steve's company that I find perhaps one of the best in this industry is the fact that their ability to understand the need for the camera's visualization, not just the capturing, but the visualization. I've done a lot of productions, and this is not about me so much, but I've done a lot of spots. This was the most effective piece I've ever done immediately without having to have a tag at the end that says, this will make your life better, or live better through chemistry or any of the other stuff that has to be told what you're really doing here.
Everything really came together wonderfully. It's going to be exciting for everybody to see them.